Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. T. So today we are going to talk about something very important that I have been getting a lot of DMs from you guys. So I thought today is the best time to tackle that. So we are talking about sensory issues and gut. So that means how is the gut connected to the sensory issues of your child, how they're connected, why it happens, and how to treat. So if all of those things sounds right, then stick until the end. So the first point that I'm going to talk about is how is gut connected to the sensory issues. So first of all, what is sensory issues? Sensory issues are anything that the child does which affects the way he perceives things. It affects the child's quality of life as well. For example, you cannot brush the child. Teeth or hair, you cannot bathe the child have a lot of picky eating or food aversion, and also a lot of OCDs. They need something particular. They cannot wear certain types of clothes. They cannot play certain types of things, and all of those things actually comes under the umbrella of sensory processing disorders. Okay, so most of the people, I would say most, as in the 95% of the autism professionals that you see online or in person, they are going to say that sensory processing is just a part of the autistic brain and you have to kind of suck it up and do nothing about it. What happens is that affects the child's day-to-day lifestyle so much that the parents really cannot handle that, and the parents feel like, you feel like you are helpless, you feel like you are being a bad parent, bad mom, bad dad, or like you are not good enough. And also, you don't like to see your child suffer, right? So you need to know and understand why your child is having sensory issues. So our gut is the second brain of the body, okay? This is the first brain, the one in your head, in your child's head. The gut is the second brain of the body. Gut produces more than 80% of neurotransmitters, which helps the brain to function better. Okay, you see this? It's a two-way connection. How the gut is, it affects the brain. How the brain is, it affects the gut. And how the gut and brain is connecting with each other with the deficiencies or the overabundance of certain chemicals and toxins and neurotoxins, it affects how your child behaves, whether your child can sleep, whether your child can brush the teeth, and all of those things. Okay. I'm sorry. So the gut produces the neurotransmitters, which affects the brain functions. We have to talk about that. The gut also has microbiome. So what is a microbiome? Microbiome is the vast array of micro level of organisms, like virus, bacteria. It can be pathogen, it can be good bacteria, then good fungus, bad fungus, and all of those things. Okay. So a microbiome, the good microbiome, helps your child to digest food, to absorb the nutrients, to eliminate toxins. But when your child's gut has predominantly or more of the bad bacteria, bad fungi, and bad microbiome, then what happens is the bad microbiome don't allow the good microbiome to do its job. And it also affects the amount of good neurotransmitters that your child needs to function properly. It also creates a lot of neurotoxins, which affects how the child perceives things. So the number one reason why your child is a picky eater, has sensory issues, is because he has a disbalanced or dysfunctional gut. So when you work on the gut healing, you work on the brain healing, and you actually pretty much remove all of these problems that your child has, okay? So the bad microbiomes produces neurotoxins, which affects food craving as well. So for example, if your child is just a 1 or 2 food eater, nuggets, Doritos, milk, or just bread and things like that, that is happening because he has a terribly upset gut microbiome. So those bad microbiome are making your child crave of those bad foods, because that is the food of the bad microbiome. The dry foods, the grains, the glutens, the milk, those things are the food of the bad microbiome. That is why the child craves those food. So when you want to work on your child's gut, you have to also work on the pickiness, to overcome the pickiness first. Otherwise, it will be really, really hard for you to change the diet, right? So that's pretty much it about how the gut is connected to the sensory issues. Now, the second topic that we're going to talk about is what are the sensory issues that your child has, in fact, okay? Because some of you might not even understand that a character or a behavior of your child is actually connected, or the reason is the sensory issues. So the first thing is your child will have hard time brushing his teeth, or you will have hard time to brush his teeth. The second thing could be will have hard time to brush his hair, or to bathe him, or to put lotion and things on him, or to touch him. Then also your child might have OCD, means he wants to do certain thing over and over and over again. You will also have food aversions and severe or moderate form of picky eating. So if picky eating, as in your child will not want to eat all the varieties of food, your child will only want to eat the foods that he thinks is safe, okay? So those are the things that are causing, that are the reason of your child's sensory issues, okay? The third thing that we're going to talk about now is how is the gut imbalance really affecting the sensory issues, okay? So here is the thing. I have a imbalanced gut. So my imbalanced gut will cause me to crave bad food, and I'll eat the bad food, and the bad food will give me the bad toxins. It will not be digested by my body properly because I don't have the good microbiome and also the good amount of acids and enzymes in the body, right? So it's like a vicious cycle. You have the bad things in the body, you crave bad food, you keep on eating the bad food, then you keep on having the picky eating, the sensory issues, the brushing problem, and all of those things, okay? So that is how your child is actually stuck in a loop. Until you actually resolve the sensory issues, your child is not gonna have a good quality of life. So the neurotoxins that is produced by this bad microbiome, as well as from the undigested food, accumulates like on top of each other, and they increase the problem of the body and the brain. So in certain time, what happens is the parent actually starts believing that the child is autistic in a way that, it's severe autism, and then it's a personality thing for the child to not want to eat food, to not want to brush, to not want to do things. And sometimes parents also get very anxious and angry and mad at the child, and also at the professionals, because they don't know what is really happening. So now you know that the neurotoxins from the bad microbiome produces toxins which is affecting the nervous system, which we call as neurotoxins, okay? So the neurotoxins also comes from the maldigested food, toxins and chemicals from the things that you are using for the child, skincare, hair care, how you are preparing the food, what sort of pens you are using, and all of those things, okay? Sounds scary, but here are the things that you can do starting today to reduce your child's sensory issues, okay? So how do you treat sensory issues? Number one, always talk about the gut healing. If you heal the gut, you heal the brain, and you heal pretty much all the problems that your child has: sleep issues, mood issues, behavioral issues, unsocial behaviors, and all of those things, okay? So the conundrum is, how do I change my child's diet when my child is a picky eater? How I do inside the program and with my students is we work on the detoxification first. We have our own 3 simple things that we use, and those will help the child to reduce the picky eating, to reduce the sensory issues, to reduce the volume of the aversion of food, because then the child is now not as sensory eater as he was before. So to treat a sensory issue of your child, you have to work on the 5 pillars, okay? So the first thing that you have to do is the mindset. Your mindset needs to be like, this is a problem and this needs attention. Even if the doctors or the therapists and all of those people are saying that it's just a part of him, it's affecting him. So I have to change that. That's your mindset. The second thing that you have to do is diet changes. So yes, diet changes cannot be happening drastically, but what you have to do is you have to start low and slow. Stop taking your child to the grocery store. Stop buying the things that he is addicted to. And at the same time, start the third pillar, which is the detoxification. So I have bigger trainings on detoxification. I'll link those in the show note and also in the iCard. And then you can go through them and you can find the strategies that is applicable to you. And also the best way is to join the program of ours so that you get all this complete system done for you. You just follow them and they are simple to follow, by the way. Anyway, so the detoxification, what will that do is that will reduce the sensory problem of your child. It will reduce the picky eating, and then you can actually go for the more drastic diet changes. Okay, after that you have to remember the fourth pillar, which is the lifestyle. So how does lifestyle affects your child's sensory issues? Here is the thing: when you are letting the child play handheld gadgets, that is affecting his body functions, his brain functions. Okay, when you are allowing the child to stay indoors and not play outside, he is not able to actually physically detox, because playing outdoors is very essential for kids, whether they're autistic or whether they're neurotypical. Doesn't matter. Kids need to play outdoors in the sun, in the mud, on the ground, so that it also affects their grounding, dissipating a lot of the negative energy in the body. Okay, and make sure that you are cooking his food in non-toxic pan, and you are not using microwave, you are not heating up the food in plastic containers, you're not storing his food in plastic containers. And please keep in mind, all the outside food, the processed food, those are not food at all. Those are just things that people label as food. People as in the companies label as food. Those are not food. Okay, they are really affecting your child, because 100 years ago there was no autism, because there was no processed food. You get it? Okay. The fifth thing is parenting support, need-based parenting. So you have to understand the reason why your child is having all of these sensory issues is because of the gut imbalance. So by hitting him, scolding him, by keep on brushing him, you cannot reduce the sensory issues. You will actually exacerbate the problem. You have to keep calm. You have to make sure that your child is not stressed, because stress creates cortisol, and cortisol decreases brain function. And you have to ensure that you're understanding your child's need. So if he cannot brush his teeth, use soft cloths to clean him up, and then invest in programs or coaches or naturopath, wherever you go. Invest in a good quality, complete system that will teach you how to change the diet, to reduce the picky eating, to overcome sensory issues, to teach you the detoxification, the lifestyle pieces, and all of those things. Those are also important. Make sure that you are lowering his stress. Make sure that you are using non-tox lifestyle products. Make sure that you are actually giving him a very nurtured, nourished, very much grounded, calm lifestyle, because that will actually reduce his stress, and that will reduce the sensory issues as well. You cannot, as summary, you cannot overcome your child's sensory issues just by forcing him to do things or giving up. Doesn't work. If you give up, you are giving up on his future. Your child can attain so much better. And if you have trouble understanding and accepting, please go to our website and find the page on testimonials. You can see hundreds of parents sharing how their life has changed, how their kids' life has changed, how the quality of the future of the child has changed by doing this work. So change the diet, do the detoxification first to be able to change the diet. Then also have your mindset on point. Give him the non-tox, low tox lifestyle that is needed. Give him the parental support that your child needs to start accepting himself and be able to flourish. If you don't accept, acceptance. I teach acceptance as well. I teach my parents to accept their child's autism, but not to accept the bad behavior, not to accept the problems that the child is having. If you don't want to sit in the examination, you cannot even pass the examination. So you have to accept the child's autism, but not let autism rule the child's life, because most of the problems that your child is having is actually treatable. You actually can remove those struggles. Your child will still be autistic, but your child will be having so much of a better lifestyle. He will be able to talk, socialize, eat healthy foods, be healthy, and pretty much be just a 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 or years old, or even, go on to have a really nice and healthy lifestyle, normal lifestyle. We all want that. Me, the other professionals, we actually want the same thing, the child to flourish. If the child is not flourishing through the therapies and through the pills and all of those things, it's time that you understand why things are happening, and this is the right place for you to be. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye.